like old times.
Welcome back, everybody. We got the Jimmy rework. We saw the Jimmy video of the Jimmy rework. But I don't know if we're going to see any of Mr. Rainer today in HGC Korea. We'll have to see how the rest of this series pans out. The next series as well. We have potentially 8 more games to go. So there's 8 more chances to see Rainer. I'm hoping and praying we get that Jimmy in here, but it seems unlikely. We got Phoenix that one time when he was permabanned.
One time.
Okay, on the first day he was released.
One time.
So
I think Rainer, there is a chance, maybe, but I think there are a lot of other DPS still very strong. Like Genji, we see always being banned. I think Genji is still above Rainer at the moment, even though Rainer is so powerful. Still lots of Hanzos as well. We see a lot of damage, most hero damage in the after game chart because of that. Hanzo's still pretty strong. So there are lots of DPS. I actually like Rainer just diving in along with them, but we're not really going to get to see him in play today. I wish the same thing, but I don't. In reality, I don't think so.
yeah, no. Well, let's see. So we're gonna jump into. Did you see? I happened to miss both times. The first time I was reshuffling my papers because I had Amer's data on the wrong page. And then the second time I was writing something else down, so I missed the map bans. I don't actually know which maps were banned. We've had Tomb and Infernal Shrines, but I don't know if you happen to catch the map bans.
It's missing on my Excel.
All right, well, we're gonna find out in a second what the next map is, but I can't. Sometimes we can predict what the map's gonna be, but based on the fact that the map bans are missing to me, I just can't tell you guys. I can't speculate at this point. So
I think Braxis was open. One of the maps
here we go.
Right top.
Okay, so Volskaya and actually BOE were banned. So as you say, Braxis was open. And
going to Sky Temple with GLuck's choice.
Yeah, taking the macro approach. A bold choice against Supernova, who has made a name for themselves in this tournament as a global team. But in this meta, we're not really seeing as much. We haven't seen a single global hero, in fact, in our 2 games we've seen thus far. Sure, smaller maps, so less relevant.
And even on this map, Alex Straza is actually getting picked up so many times. There's a chance that she may not be banned and grabbed up first pick.
Hirel banned. Looks like they're trying to
go to Hakaway this time with the macro.
Well, I think they're trying to get something like either the Alex Strasza or the Rainer here. And they will get the Alex Strasza. I think that was the idea. They actually grabbed Phoenix instead. This is not a great map for Alex Strasza, but Alex has been picking Alex Strasza regardless of map throughout this season, so I would have thought that would be the priority. Still open, of course.
I think GLuck focuses a little bit too much on the map he re too many times.
And you're right about the Dahaka pick, so they are going down the global path. There's the Alex Strasza ban, since they didn't take her. She is removed. Final ban here will likely be on a tank pick. Perhaps the Johanna that GLuck has picked both game 1 and 2. It's been a big impact hero for Roxer, taking the Tyrael away, removing that boss control.
Yeah, I think they were concerned about the boss control as well as another Sonya just coming in because they were banning lots of the top lane, already grabbed their own Dehaka. Against Sonya is going to be pretty tough of a matchup, and Perzo pretty well with the Tyrael. So they're reducing down the tank hero pool.
Let's see what Roxer ends up playing this time. If you take a look at his hero pool, as Tyrael is, or was before this match, his most played hero. Now Johanna's passed it, 4-3. And he will lock in the ETC. He's 0-2 on the hero currently. It'll be his 3rd career game of ETC. See if it can end up working out a lot better than it did for Habian previously with a 1-6 score. Tyrael is obviously great for boss control, but ETC plus Blaze can be almost as good. Zeratul, Abathur, so really heavy emphasis on global.
No support again, and clone on to Zeratul. They're looking for lots of poke, burst damage along with some CC. They're going to try something else again with the Abathur healing this time. They tried against Ballistics, tried against Genji, I believe, again, and it failed both times. maybe this time with the Asmodan from GLuck.
Really risky choice to run the Asmodan into the Zeratul Abathur because as tanky as Asmodan is in a lot of ways, he has no escape. He has a lot of strong pushing power. And Asmodan can be really cool against Abathur for multiple reasons. You know, if you can track where the Abathur is, you can Q him at a distance, and once you get stacked up, you can actually one-shot him.
And Asmo's Globe actually has a higher speed now, so it's actually a little bit harder to dodge everything. He has a baseline quest on his Globe Annihilation now.
Yeah.
So there's a rework, and we'll explain a little bit. I think it is going to be just a global build with lots of mercenaries. I think that should be the way to go on the Sky Temple, but we'll see.
Yeah, it makes it a lot more difficult for Asmodan, or sorry, excuse me, for Abathur to have global impact. He is going to move into his shield build here at level 1. Because he is playing support Abathur. And will be played by Alex.
What a crazy meta this is.
Well, it's going to get crazier, man. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning.
With the Ben Rainer all the time, we're going to see some Asmodan. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a few more, not just from Korea, from all the regions.
Wait until the next hero's announced, man.
I don't know. Is the next one Overwatch? Did you hear anything about it?
I think it's going to be Rock and Roll Race Car.
Ha!
Yeah. I think that was like hinted heavily by the fact that the Lost Vikings haven't been updated or gotten a new skin in a while. I think that's what they're trying to imply. I know Reddit's like, we don't want to watch the Lost Vikings. Wait until Rock and Roll Race Car comes out. You'll have another sick retro hero that never gets new skins. Nah. I used to be a Lost Vikings main, so I know the hurt feelings about it. But hey, look, if we get the Rock and Roll Racing skin, maybe it's a retro looking hero. Then we get get the Rock and Roll Racing as the next hero. Then Vikings get new skins. You know, I might just be dreaming aloud here, but I'd be cool with it. Well, talk a little bit about the new Asmo, the baseline quest you were talking about. Very much a, it's a huge buff to how he operates as a poking hero. And that's going to make him very relevant against the Abathur here. Because Abathur will have to kind of keep track as to where he is. If you can always know where the Abathur is positioned.
So it is actually the basic attack. As for the hand, which I did not expect to see in this case. You get stacks from basically basic attack against heroes, and that's also with a condition under 75% health onto the opponent hero.
Yep. So you can't just get free stacks. You have to be kind of in the fray. It's basically a quest that encourages you to team fight heavily, a lot more often.
Which I saw in lots of videos of lots of content creators like YouTubers and streamers. They failed all the time, even the pros. They were trying to have this build in a way so they can actually explore into it, but they all failed. They couldn't really get too many stacks. Once you're out like team fighting to get the stacks, you get caught, you die because you're so fat.
Yeah, Asmodan's got a really big hitbox. Or a hurt box, I guess that is to say. So that's one of the reasons why Zeratul and everybody else enjoys playing against some Nova. You know, if you hit Asmo in quick matches Nova, you're like, oh, sorry, man. I can't miss you. It's impossible to miss. I'm just going to get free stacks. Well, no chat here is pinged. They know where he is. They've seen him. Stealth hero is pretty easy to track since the, stealth rework, the major gameplay changes, I think was the official name of Heroes 3.0, people were calling it. Maybe that was not the interrupt he was looking for. He's had a rough day today, poor guy.
Supernova, let's see how they actually want to have their macro control. They have Abathur, okay, but against an Asmo, it can be kind of cancelled once he actually has a lot of stacks. That will also be a direct threat to actually be an Abathur. I don't think he can actually kill Abathur in just one shot, but with the pull, this might be possible.
Yeah, later on, it's definitely possible, but not right now. Not yet. Not until he starts to get more healthy. Does get the armor for his warriors, Those little demon guys at level 4 here. We'll see what ends up taking at 7. Which makes his lane presence a little bit more annoying to deal with. So ends up being a pretty even trade on these shrines. Supernova, in fact, getting a slight lead with this. And Overlord, his auto attacks versus heroes have not really stacked him up too much. Like he's very rarely been able to get any stacks at all with this build, because his opponents are not below 75% health. It's going to be easier to auto attack heroes like a Zeratul that dive into proper team fights later, because Zeratul has low health. A clone, to a certain extent, as well operates like that, and also Phoenix. But he's mostly been running into, you know, Muradin, Dahaka, and these little poke wars, which has not been doing too much for him in terms of the auto attacks.
After 7, he does get... It's a little bit easier to get the stacks with the extra range onto it, with the conditions.
Yeah.
No chat soaking in lots of damage, and you're going to lack that sustain unless you have your own poke and escape without taking any damage.
Well, with the spell armor here, they could stick around for a long time. All Shell Burn has been reworked, so it's not indefinite. It would be nice to have All Shell Burn, the old All Shell Burn in this case, while looking for the extra damage. Now, Avian diving in here. Roxer with the double power slide catches them. No chat is going to go down. That's going to be first blood here. Very late into the game, 5 minutes in. Kirisako as well, body blocked a little bit, is wandering his way out here. Power slide's going to catch though. Does he have burrow? He does, but it's only going to keep him alive a little bit longer. Scatter arrow, just not quite enough damage, and with the Abathur symbiote, he does stay alive.
Perfectly timed when the base melt was going to come. Kirisako oftentimes and all the time having some great burrow timing on that Dahaka.
So, meanwhile, Blaze has been double soaking mid and bottom. Look at the mid push. He's bot right now, threatening the Abathur body soak. So, no waves were missed. They get a fort, despite the fact that Kirisako lived. GLuck takes a massive experience lead now, and they will be the first team to hit 10. See if it is the tide of sin here.
109.
115 now. So, you know, he did a little bit more than I expected. In some of those more recent fights, obviously, against the weakened Zeratul, he was able to get more of those stacks, plus the bombardment you were talking about at 7. Boss, you know, totally free here. But unfortunately, this Abathur just hasn't worked out yet.
They have so much control. I think Supernova, of course, they do have to wait for 10. They just hit. But they're going to lose a lot more. Boss with the temple at the bottom. Maybe closer to level 2 gap right after all this happened. 4th down for sure at the bottom. So they have to make something happen at the top. So the wave is not really too pushed for themselves.
I mean, the boss is still very healthy. Like, right now, Supernova's going to have to look for an engage, I think. Or this could just get the keep wall. Even if Blaze dies, I think this is totally worth. I think he may just sacrifice himself. He's done a ton of damage to the mid fort. Asgard will die. Bunker is going to buy some time. Really nice micro here. Ooh, the follow-up arrow! He lived so long! It's actually still alive here! The salvo does not kill him, but he's bought so much time. Here's the Maj. And they are going to need to get out of here. Alex, very, very low with that clone. Does end up losing it. Kirisako trying to trade here onto Mice, and Roxer misses the power slide. No chat should be able to get out here with the Zeratul. Massive win, though. Massive, massive win for GLuck. All this while the boss still pushed, and they nearly got the keep with the Siege Giants. I think it's just barely going to survive. It's going to be close, actually. Barely survives, I think. The next wave they should be able to clear.
Not even the mule.
Oh, Overlord wanted it so bad. It's not going to have it. This series has been super fun.
It's different from what we have been seeing for the last 3 weeks. It is week 4 with a different patch, of course.
Certainly has been very varied, I guess. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that. I mean, this is obviously 2 of our lower teams, although I really do feel that Supernova has a lot of potential to rise up. GLuck's showing us a good game today. But you know, Azmodan here, how high impact has he really been? Like, can we say conclusively that Azmodan is one of the reasons why they are winning this game? Like, no, not really. Any other DPS I think would have served a similar role, but let's see how it goes in the late game. He's going to get the full channel. He does.
Almost gets it and has to pop the Avatar.
Yep, and this is already still a one trade for GLuck. Look at the rotation down. No chat prevents Roxer from getting that power slide off. The dismount there. There's the completion of his level 1 quest at 9 minutes. And a lot of those auto attacks from the skirmishes, the fights he's taking.
All the glove damage as well, of course. So far, Supernova, I don't think they were expecting an Azmodan pick, of course. They were trying to have their own global, but because of that Azmodan pick from GLuck, their plan is kind of ruined already with all the early control on the temples and the boss that GLuck actually had. I've never seen GLuck have this decisive shot calling with an Azmodan pick on it.
Yeah, I think that the comp of Supernova is really just trying to be reinventive. And as much as we've seen it attempted even as far back as Mid-Season Brawl, I don't think that solo support Abathur has a place in this meta yet. I liked how Miracle ran it, but it's just... You're really grasping at straws, I think, when you're trying to run this composition. Very, very much. It's the Swiss cheese comp, man. It's full of holes. Still tastes great, but you could see through it. And Azmodan hasn't really had a huge impact on hitting Abathur per se, but his Demonic Warriors have helped the lane pressure off a little bit. And like now they could just collapse onto this top shrine. Look at the rotation up. Asgard being the last to come up, but they can definitely look for a few of these shots. Okay, here's the clone. Oh, look at that timing on the power slide.
Even the root already placed for KCP just in case Roxer gets caught once again.
He even hit the clone like it was perfectly timed. Doesn't get better than that. Extra damage here from that Globe of Annihilation. Alex's clone is going to go down. Phoenix is split soaking, but this is going to be the last 5 shots stolen now from this temple. They wanted more. They didn't get any kills, but it's still a big win here for GLuck as they do invade now. Roxer with another power slide base mount onto Heymin.
They have 16 and Supernova has no clone, so basically they have no threat whatsoever, so they can dive in all they want.
They can just push.
They have the bunker. They have the pull for the extra range damage now.
Plus the Demonic Warriors that are just going to tank here the front line so the actual Night Camp itself can push harder. They're just going to keep tossing these in. Look at how much damage he's taken out 4 minions a Q here. Going to have it up in just a second here to finish this wave off as well. Azmodan's practically a global, wave clearer at this point with his range.
With his demons, yes. And
yeah.
That's why the Avatar actually went all the way back. Has to switch lane now. Even Zeratul has to come to clear the wave because they don't really want to have that pressure going with the help of Azmodan.
Okay, they do not start the boss yet. Well, they did. They, of course, abandoned that.
Zeratul does have the Void Prison, which can stop everything. And all in No Chat's hand.
Very much a tense moment for Supernova. Try to decide, like, how do we play around this boss? Because they have the salvo, they have the Void Prison, but they don't have much else in terms of long-term engage and initiation. Avatar can buy them time, but they're just going to get blown up if they try to commit to that. Tide's used here, just going to clear with it in the bot lane, dealing with that symbiote. Look at the bottom wave just blown up now.
Yeah, but you can't just ignore the cleave damage from Zeratul. And the clone also, that's actually a lot of poking. And with the Void Prison, you can line them up perfectly. It will be an easy kill onto some targets like Kanto. Maybe Mafia without the Ice Block. They can try to go for that back line if they have the perfect Void Prison. So I think that's why GLuck is kind of feeling pressure. So they're not really going for the boss at the moment. Wanna play it safe. They have the lead once again. They threw it game 1. They sustained it game 3. They want to continue to make it happen.
Hey, they're going to fight over the shrine now directly. It's a solo shrine. Bottom push coming through. Catapults and the Siege Giants means that it's going to take more than just Abathur body soaking down there to deal with that. They're actually going to go ahead and pop a clone here right now. Asgard with the stun attempt. Void Prison goes up. This is a winning fight for Supernova temporarily. The bunker, though, buys time for the Void to expire. And now look at No Chat. He's very low on health. Bentham gets caught. No Chat can't do anything. He can't re-engage. He can't look for a fight. He can't look for a pick. They're going to have to get this up, and they have to go clear bottom. This is very likely just going to cost them another keep. The mid keep is going to be the threat. The top push is heading up now.
With the boss, they may actually just go for the core.
You know, they may very well, GLuck. They left the temple. No Chat healed up. He's headed in, but they cannot 2v5 this, even with the symbiote. He's playing with fire. Oh, they collapse onto Dahaka. See him instantly. Kirisaku takes a gambit here. It does not pay off.
They got the kill onto Asmodan, but they're going to lose the boss very likely.
A double stun, but it's not enough.
They only have more than standing on there, so No Chat's doing what he can, but the bunker comes in.
No Chat chased down by Myson, and that's GG. GLuck is going to take match point here. All they have to do is walk down to the core with the boss.
They to get their mission completed was to kill that Asmodan for once, but that's not how you win game here.
Yeah, that's not how you win games. You might win in your head. You might feel a small moral victory, but the mule is not going to be what saves them, as we see the arrow follow up here after the power slide stun. Rocks are massively outperforming his counterpart here in Haben on the ETC, being a huge impact, a huge boon for his team. GLuck with the Asmodan pick will take game number 3. 1 win away from a small upset here, you would say, against Supernova.
He worked Asmodan. Pretty strong, we would say, even with the auto attack build, which is not too common. I've never expected that to come out. I really thought maybe later, if a lot of teams actually study into that build, I think it can come out. That's what I was thinking, but not already. They made that work not just because of the build, most likely, but it was mostly for the team to actually get all the CCs together. We saw great ETC from Roxer, very different from Heaven. He was actually making lots of great power slide, catching Mosh Pit, not really too much, but making sure he is safe, not really dying by himself, and letting his teammate do their other stuff for them.
Nabin ends up having a better game on the Muradin. Finished his baseline very early. Was able to get a lot of really high impact stuns off in the game. Played really well around Alex's Abathur, but once again, Roxer outclasses him. 0 deaths on the ETC. Was able to hit many game-changing, team fight-changing power slides. And he just ends up being the better tank here. It's unfortunate for Haben, who's he's definitely seen some incredible games this season, but today feels like it's a little bit off. You can see how he's sitting in his chair as well. You can feel the frustration just coming off of him there. And this reworked Asmodan, you're not prepared for it. You don't know how it's going to work out. You've not really practiced or scrimmed around this all too well yet, especially the auto attack build, like you said, which is pretty rare. Now you're finding yourself on the back foot mentally. As we go into game number 4, you really need to think about where you want to take us, what map you want to bring, what style you want to bring. You want to go back to your comfort, but you've already used Infernal Shrines. You've already gone the global route of Sky Temple. Maps, BOE, and Full Sky are removed, so are you trying to go to Towers of Doom? Is that how you want to play this? We do have Braxis open. Maybe you've got a Braxis strategy you want to use, but otherwise, like, a lot of your trump cards have already been spent as Supernova here. So it feels like a very uphill battle at this point.
I think that's certainly true, and what we have seen from GLuck was actually great. I think maybe the best thing that can happen for Supernova to start off the draft first spin, maybe they can, if possible, grab Raynor. If not, grab Malfurion. I don't think Phoenix is the best choice. Malfurion on to GLuck every single time on KCB, having the pre-root so your teammate can actually survive. That saved a lot of the teammate, maybe 4 times already in the series. Making sure KCB plays another support. Maybe try to have a support choke with the ban. I think going towards another strategy. I think it's time to really shift the gear and move on from what you're trying to do for Supernova right now.
Yeah, and the Phoenix pick has been the high priority for them, and the tank priority that we've seen, onto high CC heroes has not been it hasn't worked out very well. Going for something more like a Johanna, a safer pick, might be easier here for Haben to capitalize on. Looking at Haben's stats, I talked about how he played ETC only once before. He's 0-2 on it now. His most played is the Garrosh, where he's sitting on that 3-3 win rate. He's played 2 games of Johanna, and I think that number needs to be higher given his playstyle today and how much he's been punished for how aggressive he's been, especially that ETC game, unfortunately for him, the 1-6 game. I guess maybe the players need a little bit of time after that map. We haven't been updated on what our next battleground is going to be.
That should be coming up very soon, but glad to have Azemodan successfully having 100% win rate in 2018 HGC KR so far. So that's something you never expected, but we knew it was coming a lot because we were going to say Rainer banned every single time. Azemodan is going to come anytime today, tomorrow, or Sunday. It's already here.
That's right. So let's see if Rainer sneaks his way into some of these drafts. We saw a few times where there was definitely some consideration about tricking it out. Both times actually by GLuck, where they held the Genji ban and then locked it in, and then the second game they thought about the Alex ban, that banned the Rainer. Then were able to ban the Alex in second phase just to be sure to ban that away from Alex.
Maybe Supernova is taking some time. Try to decide if they want to really go for the map. Do we really have something practice like Abraxas? Do we really want to go all the way out and try to give out something that we have practiced? Do we think it's possible to take the series back, because they have to think in a long term, because they still have a lot of matches left.
Yeah.
They might be sealing away. They have to unwrap the ceiling on the Abraxas. It's one of the strategies that they have been holding. If they actually do not have one, may just give out the map to the opponent and make sure they have the first ban and try to have a different way of handling things, because it seems like when they took Irel was a little bit better, but still not enough to actually have everything together. They dropped game number 2 even with Irel, so they banned it themselves. So they have to really work on their solo lane. I think that is actually one of the most important thing for themselves as well as the opponent now.
Well, I mean, I think that, you know, this is a match where you have to win. This is a must-win match for Supernova. Like this, yeah, and now Supernova's behind. Like, I think if you're wondering, like, do they want to try to keep stuff hidden for like tougher matches later? I think you've got to use it here. You have to use it now. Like you cannot lose to GLuck.
Yeah, for
because
GLuck
your next opponents are harder.
Yeah, I know. For themselves to actually escape from the Crucible match, they have to win this match. Basically, they have to win this. Maybe win against Miracle even later on. I think that those are possible, but this is they have the best chance right here. So GLuck, they do want to finish it off, but because they won the third game, Supernova, I think we're just waiting for the decision. I don't know if there's a time limit on the decision, or we're just gonna be on camera forever.
I mean, you're kind of speculating. It could even just be like a computer problem for all we know. Could be that one guy was just like, you know what, I quit. I lost to Asman, I'm done. He's like in the elevator right now. We're like, oh, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on.
No, man. They had some
I
crazy
have no
strategy.
idea.
They had some Avatar Samra, which Genji played that long time ago, and didn't really work out against Ballistics. Maybe they will be holding in another